We're very, very happy to be able to win today. I knew that it would be very difficult as it was on Friday, and then we found a way to score some runs late yesterday. But coming into this series, Auburn's a team that was hitting over 300, and we knew that that was going to be a challenge for us. We hadn't been scoring that many runs, and very few teams around the country are hitting over 300. And you know, they made a run at us at the end there today. A couple of hits go down there. It could be a little bit different, but we battled, we played hard, and we got good pitching all weekend, and give up a lot of runs and play some great defense.
Ray, what's the punishment going to be for the training staff if one more guy gets hurt?
I think we're going to have to hire a couple of new trainers. I think we don't have enough. Brandon Cooper is overworked right now, to say the least. But they're trying. He's trying hard to get them back as quick as he can. But it's been a little bit unusual.
What's the deal with Anderson? Is there any initial prognosis?
No, it's a hamstring, and I'm sure that it'll take a while, like it normally does.
Coach, I think one thing you always say is good teams win on Sunday. Y'all are 7-0 in conference play. What do you kind of attribute that to, and are you feeling pretty good about where your team is right now?
Well, you know, the only thing you can ask as a coach is to go out and approach it the right way and play hard. And sometimes you don't play as good as you want to, and things don't go your way. But if your approach is good from a coaching standpoint, that's all you can ask. And our guys have done that. You know, this game certainly we could have lost. They get the leadoff guy on to begin the game, and we turn a double play right after that. But these guys play hard. They try to win, try to find a way, and have been very successful at it. I couldn't have asked more from this team to this point. I know there's a ways to go, and we got three series left, a few non-conference games, and 2 of those are on the road. But you know, as I sit here today, this team has given me everything I could ask for. And you know, regardless of what the record is, we could have lost a lot more games than we've lost, and I'd said the same thing. But they play hard, they battle, and they try to stay in position to win.
But 17-4 is amazing enough as it is, but to have 2 other teams in your division with the same record, and they both swept this weekend too, it's pretty incredible season.
It is a bit unusual. You know, a lot of times you look at our conference and you go, hey, somebody wins 20 games, they're probably going to have a chance to win the whole thing. Certainly win your division. This is going to be different this time, you know, because of what Florida Vandy has done. And you know, we played well. We won some close games. They don't seem to play that many close games. But you know, we're just plugging along. We're just going to try to win as many as we can, finish out.
How encouraging is it to have the start of the pitching? You know, maybe not be dominant, but they find a way to get it done and battle through some rough innings.
Well, as far as Columbus today, if you look at his line, I believe he had 2 runs through 4 hits. You know, he was at 88 pitches. We're probably going to give him another 15, but the matchup was left-handed, so we had Webb ready to go, and it didn't work out great, but it worked out okay. And so we could have sent Forrest back out for maybe another one, but you know, we had Webb, Taylor, and Price, and we thought that was a pretty good combination to finish up. So that's why we took him out at 88. But you know, he's a true freshman. Having to pitch against an offensive team like that was a good outing. And I told him afterwards, I said, you're going to probably tell me you weren't all that pleased with your outing, but it was a pretty good one. The results are what they are, and I'll take that every single time.
Ray, if I could ask you 2 questions. I saw you were up against the rail talking to Adrian. Any chance at all was hitting related, if you wanted to share it? And second, if you could talk about the relationship between Scott and Peter up the middle, and also in the lineup, that they really seem to have come together for you.
Well, those guys are very similar in a lot of ways. I mean, they're small guys, they're left-handed, and they play defense. And I think they really appreciate each other. They feed off of each other, and they feel like if one guy touches it and there's a guy on, the other guy might turn it. And I think they really enjoy playing defense. That's one of those things that, you know, sometimes guys are out there because you get the hit, but they really respect the game, and I think they really enjoy playing defense, and they play it pretty well. So we're glad that we've got them. That's been very important for us to be where we are, is our defense and our pitching, and you know, we've had some time in the hitting. Adrian I talked to quite a bit throughout the course of a game. He's always thinking. If he chooses to go into the coaching profession, he's going to be outstanding. He understands strategy. He understands our team, our personnel. You know, he's fighting it a little bit at the plate, although he came up with some hits today. But it's a relationship where I respect his knowledge, and he's an older guy, and those guys get a chance to have a voice. I'm not so patient with young guys having a voice, but older guys get a chance to speak, and it's valuable to me. I take a lot of things that they share with me, and I listen. Sometimes it makes me think a different way, but I respect Adrian Morales a tremendous amount.
You probably don't want to think about this, and Robert will probably be back on the outfield coming up. But if somebody else, gets hurt, not that I'm trying to wish it, well, I mean, what are your other options past Steven? No. I mean, with all these guys still hurt.
Continual prayer. That would be that's the first thing. You know what? I turned to Busher today. Busher's my bench coach. I turned to Busher and I go, "What kind of options you got now?" And Payne has played a little bit of outfield in AAU ball. He's worked really hard to become a better third baseman here as a true freshman. We got to get him back in the outfield again to shag a little bit. We were just getting to the point that Neff felt pretty good on the mound, and he was sort of our long guy today. And I put him in the outfield. Coach Myers looked at me like, "Is that it? That's the last guy." So, that's probably something we'll take a look at. Dante Rosenberg is still fighting the back issue. He's in and out. He works out some. He misses a day or two. If he doesn't play anymore, he probably could apply for a hardship. But I'm going to have a conversation with him to see if he feels like he'd like to go in there some, because I could definitely use him. That way we keep burying the outfield a little bit more, and we could spell Brady with Rosenberg. And if he's not 100% committed to that, then I'm not going to even go very far in the conversation. But you asked about options. That's where we are.
The way the race is now in the division, does that keep you guys a little on edge though, knowing that with one conference loss, you go from tied for first to third place in sort of a rocket division, even though you're won the vast majority of your games inside the league?
I can't speak for the players. I don't know how they approach things, but I never talk about it. I never address it. I tell you guys, maybe you don't believe me, but I don't keep up with tomorrow. I don't keep up with next week. I don't look at standings. I don't look at anything. I try to be prepared for the next game and do the best you can with it and move on. At the end of the year, you can figure out where you are if you get a chance to play or not. I can't worry about those things. And it's if you win enough games, you're gonna get a chance to play, and that's the way you've heard me say that before. And you try to fight your way into the postseason. If you can do that, that's great. If you win enough to play at home, that's even better. And that's as far as you need to go with it. I can't, I look at scores, and like yesterday, Alabama wins with a walk-off. Well, not a walk-off, but they won at Mississippi State. Pinch hit home run, a guy who was 0 for 8 on the year. So, I pay attention to what happens in games, but I don't go beyond that point. I know that we're playing as hard as we can. We're playing well. And, I know we won all the games this weekend, but even if we didn't, I would have told you the same thing. We're playing as good as we can play. We have not given up a lot of runs on the mound. We played great defense, and we started to swing the bat better in the last 2 weeks. We can't. That's it. That's the best we can do.